Hey Scrubs, I'm Danalynnex and I'll be walking you through D.Va. D.Va has recently undergone some drastic changes and we'll be explaining them through this video. A quick introduction to this amazing character, D.Va is everything I wish I could have been at 19 years old. She was a former professional StarCraft player and she's from South Korea. And now she protects her homeland from the Omnics during the Omnic crisis. D.Va is considered a tank. She's had a rocky start as a tank because most people play her like a flanker rather than a true tank. Unlike Reinhardt, she spends more time harassing enemies than protecting friends. Let's get into her abilities and explain her strategy to better help you play her as an effective tank and DPS. D.Va's mech is equipped with two short-range fusion cannons. They both fire high-damage bullets and they do not need to reload ever, so you can fire away. However, as you're firing your mech, it does slow you down in movement, making you a bigger, slower target. Like Reaper, the closer you are to your target, the more damage you'll do. D.Va has a new firing ability called micro missiles. So when used, D.Va's mech will launch a torrent of missiles for like a short time. It's pretty simple DPS ability that fires in straight lines and demolishes basically anyone in their line of fire. And just like your cannons, these should also be fired in close proximity since they are slow and enemies can easily sidestep them. For strategy, I would suggest try combining your rockets with your fusion cannons because you can do both at the same time for almost an instant kill. D.Va's high damage and mech is so useful against tanks and squishies, so comboing your fusion cannons with your micro missiles will basically melt any high priority targets. Now, most people are aware of D.Va's defense matrix, but it's not always used to its best ability. It's the most recent of D.Va's changes and it's been nerfed to 2 seconds of protection, but is still very useful in protecting you and your teammates at all times. Defense Matrix is a defense ability that blocks most incoming shots and projectiles coming your way, including some enemy ultimates like Roadhog, Soldier 76 Tactical Visor, McCree's Deadeye, Reaper's Death Blossom, Pharah's Barrage, and Bastion's Tank Form. You can eat these ults and many people will love you for it. Some strategic combos you can use with Defense Matrix is activating the micro missiles so that you can kill while also not getting killed. Defense Matrix can be used at the same time with your boosters. This allows you to fly towards really strong defenses and break them up, but Defense Matrix does not make D.Va completely immune. She can still get hit with melee attacks, and any channel gun like Mei, Winston, Symmetra, Lucio can still boop her, and she can still be hooked by Roadhog and receive a Discord Orb from Zenyatta. So these are just a couple of weapons that can still go through her Defense Matrix. Next we have D.Va's boosters, which is a great mobility ability with multiple uses. It only has a 5-second cooldown, which is honestly a little OP considering Widowmaker's only mobility ability is an 8-second cooldown. You can go in any direction you want with the boosters, and if you run into someone, it does 25 damage to them and knocks them back a bit. So yes, you can boot people off a map with her. If you need to cancel a boost because you effed up, excuse my language, you can start firing your cannons to cancel. Trust me, this is good to know because mistakes have been made. Mistakes have really been made. D.Va is a big target, so while it's great to get into battle, it's also very useful to get out and go get healed up. If there's an annoying Pharah that your team isn't dealing with, you technically can. So on certain maps like attacking in Volskaya Industries, you can flank around where other heroes cannot and break up choke points. And lastly, to throw your ultimate at people so that they can't see it coming until it's too late. Speaking of which, D.Va's ultimate, Self-Destruct, launches D.Va out of her mech and detonates after 3 seconds, creating a large explosion. If an enemy D.Va ults, all you have to do is get behind some sort of wall or far enough away that it won't hit you. It's a great way to herd people off of points as well. This means Mei, Reinhardt, Ariza will be your best friends against her. Her explosion does about 1000 HP damage, so there's no way to survive otherwise. Again, remember, you can use boosters to fling her self-destruct at a group. This is perfect for you to sneak up on an enemy and fire it at them so they have no time to run away. Another way to use self-destruct is when you are taking on a lot of fire and about to lose your mech. Instead, just self-destruct. You'll be able to call down new mech, but make sure you only do this if you know you're going to be able to kill someone or get them off a point, otherwise it's kind of a waste. Like other characters, it's also good to pair your ult with another character's. Some complementary ults are Zarya's Graviton Surge, Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, and Mei's Freeze. Using these, you can also use yours and kill a lot of people. Now that we talked about D.Va and her mech, let's go over a few things if you find yourself without it. When you are ejected from your mech, you can maneuver a little bit, but make sure that when you do eject, you're not ejecting yourself off of a cliff. Another fun fact is that you can go back into spawn and change character and get it back. Just don't do this if you have an ultimate charged up or close or even halfway. It's just a waste. D.Va has a light gun when you're out of mech, but don't let its name fool you. It's not a terrible weapon if your aim is decent. You should always go for those headshots though, if possible. It can be used effectively in medium and long range, so don't be afraid to back out of the line of fire a bit while you wait for your secondary ultimate, which is literally you could just call a fresh new mech. Finally, remember that D.Va is very good against slow characters, with her mobility and her high damage output, but she is also weak to some characters who can do high damage or interrupt her. Some of these characters are Mei, McCree, and Junkrat, especially now that Junkrat can throw 2 mines instead of the 1 at people. Alright Scrubs, that's the end of our Ultimate Gaming Queen walkthrough. Please tap that like button and please subscribe to SLAYTRIX and our other channels, Snarled and Hissy. And if I missed anything in this D.Va walkthrough, please comment your tips and tricks to becoming the Queen of Nerds. And remember, you're going to own all these noobs. The D out.